I think it's really special. We have a lot of new faces, 7, with 8 returnees, and we've had a phenomenal summer, summer 1, summer 2, and then our fall. So it's the first day of practice. The only thing that really means we get to extend practice a little longer today into our 20-hour window. So really excited about this group. Looking forward to continuing to build on what we've done, the last couple years with the NCAA tournament and the WNBA, and we just feel like this team can really do and exceed what maybe a lot of people initially on paper are going to think about them. So, but what if what we've done in the past looks big? We haven't really done anything, and so I think that this team has a chance to really do and be special. We are a work in progress. Patience is going to be a virtue with all the new faces. But again, we're just excited for what lies ahead and the opportunity to continue to just build every single day. We just want to be 1 second better today, one step ahead of where we were yesterday, get just a little bit better every single day. And I think this group has really done a nice job with summer 1, summer 2 in the fall, and now we can really get going.
Raise your hand if you have a question. We'll start with Elijah.
Hi, Coach. So you had 3 medical redshirts last season or come back this year, and obviously Eris, who had that late season injury. How are y'all looking so far in camp?
Absolutely. Jess Timmons is fully recovered, was healthy summer 1, summer 2, really has looked like, a future WNBA prospect. I mean, she has had a phenomenal summer. Honestly, was back in February. So you sit back and you go, man, but it was best for Jess and, her to have a full season. So we're excited. The impact she can have with her voice and then with her talents on the floor are immeasurable. It's an impact player for us and very experienced and seasoned. Naomi Jones is back. We are thrilled. She also, has had a journey here with some injuries, but she looks phenomenal, had a phenomenal summer, is fully released. We will monitor the things that we're doing to make sure we keep the load correct, but cannot wait for her to be on the floor in game situations. And then Eris Lester was out all summer recovering from the broken foot before the Maryland game, and then actually has had another setback with a torn meniscus that happened over break at home with a trainer, and so now we're just working our way back from that. So she'll be limited. We also have a couple other little nagging things going on. Ace Austin is out and limited with a high ankle sprain, so it's just part of it. It just takes a minute to get everybody back. But as far as our red shirts, Naomi and Jess are full go, and I cannot express how excited I am for both of them, but I also know the impact that they can have.
Theo.
Hey, Coach, there's a lot of excitement about this freshman class that you've brought in. I know obviously it's very early, but how have they been looking out there on the court, and have they been meshing, gelling with the team?
They've been awesome. All 4 come from tradition-rich, high-level summer AAU competition and high school programs. And, I will say this. I mean, when you jump from being a 17, 18-year-old freshman into the SEC and you look across our league a year ago, there weren't very many freshmen, because of the portal and because of 21, 22-year-old. But this group, I think they're ready. I think they've had, again, they're amazing high school programs. Their summer competitions really prepared them. And I think all 4 have a chance to really learn and grow. They get better every single day. They're so bought in, high energy, tremendous work ethic. All 4 have been coached, like I said, at a really high level, really hard. And so I think that's really going to help their transition to the SEC because we're going to need their contributions quickly, early, and often.
Any more questions for Coach? Will over there.
Coach, what are going to be the biggest keys to not just sustaining and maintaining the momentum that this program has built over the last number of years, but also even exceeding what's been said over the last couple of years?
I think the biggest thing with this group, will be how healthy can we stay? Right now, how healthy can we get? And because I think we have a couple of faces that we're really going to need to get healthy. And as we move along here, continuing to understand it's competitive. Like, I will say this, the depth and the versatility and the size is one of the most talented that we've had, but yet they're inexperienced. So how quickly can we put them in game situations as we head into the SEC where we know it's a possession here or there that makes the difference? So as talented, as versatile as this roster is, it's also inexperienced in SEC play. And so I think that's what you start to see when you bring in 4 freshmen, 3 transfer, have 8 returnees, a couple that didn't play as much last year because of injury. So how quickly can we put them in game situations that prepare you for January?
Back row to Jay.
Essence Cody, Carly Weathers, and Deanna Collins, they all kind of had a big presence last season. How important is it to have those 3 back and kind of be able to be here to teach those newcomers?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I think Carly, what she brought this summer, you know, I think she shot 56% from 3 this summer. I don't know if you guys just process that a second. What she has done to really work on her ability to score the basketball, she's gotten a lot stronger. She's also in nursing school. She's currently in clinicals. She's a phenomenal. There's nothing that epitomizes a student athlete like Carly does. She truly is. She'll graduate in May with her nursing degree, and I don't think she's had a B. So not only does she's a lot smarter than me first. So that always helps to have that kind of player in your backcourt. But also, she's just has a phenomenal pace about everything about her every single day, which is contagious with our team. So she and Jess obviously will be 2 of our biggest leaders. And then third is Essence. Essence has really grown up. She's really matured. I think she's in the best condition. She's really worked a lot on her perimeter skills and stepping out, the versatility. You know, she has a chance to play basketball for a long time, but she has just really taken on a leadership role. She's become more vocal. And then Diana Collins, as you mentioned, has looked phenomenal. She missed a lot of this summer because she had shoulder surgery. So that was another one. The reason I didn't mention her because she's full go now. So she's full go. But she has looked phenomenal and really matured. She's become more vocal. And her versatility of sharing and understanding the system and style of play with 1-second decisions. Again, I think when you're in the backcourt, it's so important that you have a voice. And I think that she really learned a lot from Zay. She really had an opportunity to see Aaliyah and S.A. be really vocal, all 3 of those. So Diana has really matured and has had a phenomenal month and a half after being released. And I'm sorry, who else? You mentioned those 3, right? Yeah, those 3 are really impact along with Jess. We're really excited about the experience that they bring back.
We're going to finish with 2 more with Elijah, start with Elijah, and then finish with Will.
Coach, you brought in 2 new coaches to staff this past offseason. Just talk about how valuable Brooks and Chelsea are going to be to additions to staff.
Well, first and foremost, they bring tremendous backgrounds. You know, it's elevated our program. It has elevated our program to another level. You know, Brooks was with us 9 years ago. You know, I've known Brooks since she was a camper of mine at Louisiana Tech as a little girl. And so the loyalty, the work ethic, you know, her journey, her head coaching experience, it brings a whole level to us that has been phenomenal to watch the organization in recruiting. The time that she spends investing in each young lady. She and her family, Griffin, Tyler, they're amazing. So it brings a family, a togetherness, an experience around me and our staff that honestly we've missed. I mean, so it's so good to have her back because you know you're getting a work ethic and loyalty and experience. And then Chelsea, you know, she brings, you guys, I mean, as a player in the SEC and the impact and all SEC and a draft pick and, you know, having that professional experience and knowing that she won at a really high level and consistently made the NCAA tournament. You know, when you're telling and you're showing and you're working each and every day, you know, she coaches our forwards. When someone that brings that kind of voice that has lived what you're doing here just recently, so she brings a lot of energy and youth with our experience with Tennille and Kelly and Brooks. And, you know, it's also great to have Brian Johnson, my longtime director of operations, back. And so, you know, he's working extremely hard to help us with the new landscape. So I think that speaks volumes for Brooks to want to come back, who had multiple offers, for Chelsea to say, yes, you know, I'll come to Alabama in a heartbeat. And for Brian to come back, it says a lot about where our program's at and the quality of people that we can surround these young ladies with every day to help them continue to develop. Because we feel like we develop on the floor, position-wise, professional-wise, for what lies ahead when the basketball stops here, how can we help them at the next level, but also the academic and the life factor. We take a tremendous amount of pride in individually developing every one of these young ladies every day. And you're only as good as good of a head coach as you surround yourself with. So we've got some phenomenal folks. I love our 2 new GAs, Julia and Parker. They're amazing. We've just got so many. The consistency, though, too, with a Kelly and a Tennille and your trainer and Alicia and your strength coach and Kevin. I'm just telling you, they're the 2 most important people because of how much time that they can spend and the way the legislation's written now. So there's a lot of positives with our staff and the experience that they bring.
We'll wrap up with Will.
Coach, I wanted to bring up Diana again because she was a sneaky good player for you guys last year. How good can she be this year?
Really good. I think she brought, a great background, having gone through, the experience at Ohio State, having the opportunity last season to learn and see, the folks that maybe were a little bit in front of her. But, she can do so many things. She's really developed the 3-level scoring. She's done a really good job. I think the thing, again, I mentioned earlier, I'm most proud of is the vocal leadership. And I think with her and Jess and Ace and Carly and Tiana, and I could sit here at Wyatta, Eris Lester coming back. I love the versatility, of our backcourt and the different combinations, and I think Diana will be a big part of that.